Okay, so we can also calculate the angle between the two surfaces. So if two surfaces are given, we can calculate the angle between them. So if you have two surfaces, so phi equal to c1 constant, and xi equal to the constant c2, so we can calculate the angle between these two surfaces. So the formula is given by, so theta equals to, so cos inverse of the gradient of phi into gradient of xi divided by the magnitude of gradient of phi into the magnitude of gradient of xi. Right? Okay. So now let us solve the first question here. Okay. So in this question we need to find the angle between the two surfaces. The one surface is, so 4x square plus z power 4. It is the one surface, and another surface is 6x square minus yz minus x. So we need to consider the function of xyz. So we need to consider the function of xyz here. So this is the one surface. So what is that? So phi equals to, so 4x square plus z power 4, and the other surface is xi equals to 6x square minus yz minus x. That is the another surface. So let us calculate the angle between them. To calculate the angle between them, we need to calculate the gradient of phi as well as the gradient of xi. The gradient of phi, so that is given by, so I into, so dou phi by dou x plus j into dou phi by dou y plus k into dou phi by dou z. Right? So this is equal to, so I into, so we have to differentiate phi with respect to x. So y and z are constant here. So 4 is constant, the differentiation of x square is 2x, and plus z is constant, the differentiation of z power 4 with respect to x is 0, plus j into, so we have to differentiate phi with respect to y now. So x and z are constant, so here the differentiation of x square and z power 4 are 0, is 0, and k into, we have to differentiate phi with respect to z. So x and y are constant, the differentiation of 4x square is 0, plus the differentiation of z power 4 is 3 into z power 3. Sorry, 4 into z power 3. Right? So this is nothing but 8x into I plus 4z cube into k. Right? And we need to calculate the gradient at the point 1 minus 1 2. So the gradient of phi at 1 minus 1 2 is given by, at x equal to 1, y equals to minus 1, and z equal to 2 is given by, so 8I, and z is 2, so 2 cube is 8, 8 4 is 32, so 34k. Right? So this is the gradient at 1 minus 1 2. Right? In a similar manner, we have to calculate the gradient of xi. So what is the gradient of xi? It is I into dou xi by dou x plus j into dou xi by dou y plus k into dou xi by dou z. Right? Yeah. So I into, we have to differentiate xi with respect to x, means y and z are constant. So 6 is constant, the differentiation of x square is 2x, and the differentiation of yz is 0, minus the differentiation of x is 1. So plus j into, we have to differentiate xi with respect to y now, so x and z are constant. The differentiation of 6x square is 0, minus z into, the differentiation of y is 1, and the differentiation of x is 0. So plus k into, we have to differentiate xi with respect to z now, so x and y are constant. The differentiation of 6x square is 0, minus y is constant, the differentiation of z is 1, minus the differentiation of x is 0. So this is nothing but, so 12x into I minus z into j, and minus y into k. So the gradient of psi at the point 1 minus 1 2, at x equal to 1, y equals to minus 1, z equal to 2 is given by, so 12i minus 2j, z equals to 2, and minus minus 1, that is plus 1 into k, right? So now we can calculate the angle between these two surfaces. What is the formula? The formula is, so theta equals to, so cos inverse of gradient of phi into gradient of xi divided by the magnitude of gradient of phi and the gradient of xi, right? So that is equal to, so cos inverse of, and the gradient of phi is what? It is 8i plus 32 into k, gradient of psi, which is 12i minus 2j plus k, whole divided by the magnitude of gradient of y, that is square root of 8 square, 64, and plus 32 square, and here it is square root of the magnitude of gradient of xi, that is 12 square plus minus 2 square, that is 4, and plus 1 square, right? Okay, so that is nothing but, so cos inverse of, so 8 12s are 96, plus the coefficient of j is 0 here, 0 into minus 2 is 0, plus 32 into 1, which is 32, divided by the square root of 64 plus 32 square, and the square root of 12 square plus 4 plus 1. You can do the further simplification, and that is the required angle between the two surfaces.